Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Read and Escape with Nina. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified. Make sure you select all instead of personalize, and that way you get all the notifications. So I'm kind of excited because I feel like it's been a long time since I've been up here, but it's only been a week because I think I posted 2 videos last Sunday. So I should have two uploads for you guys this week too. So what is today's date? Oh my god, I don't even know. I feel like it's the 18th. So you'll get two videos this week. All right, so I've been doing a lot of reading, which I do anyway. I finished I'll explain it a little bit later, but I finished 3 books. I'm gonna cover 2 of them in part 1 of this video, and then I'll save the third one as a separate video. Because if I'm being honest, when these videos get too long, y'all, when it comes to the editing, I'm just not the best, and it starts driving me crazy when I have to cut videos and do all this editing and stuff. I don't know. It's just not for me. That basically my style is just to come up here and just talk and chit chat the way I like to talk about the books I read and call it a day. Honestly, if I could skip the editing, I totally would. Um, so the 2 books I'm going to talk about are Mapping the Interior. If you guys remember, this is the one that I picked up last week at Barnes and Noble. It was like a promotion where you could get it for like $5. So I was super excited to get this. Um, Turned out not to be as good as I thought. And the other one I'm going to discuss is Only for the Week. And this is by Natasha Bishop. This is my first read by this author. But let me just get started with the one I like the least. So we're going to start with negative and end on positive. If I'm being honest with you, this book is only, I think it's only 101 pages. I couldn't even finish it. This was a DNF. For those who don't know what DNF is, did not finish. I'm the type of reader, I don't mind DNFing a book. If I'm not getting into it, if I'm not enjoying it, I will DNF it quick, because what I find is if I try to push myself to read it and I'm not getting into it, I'll go into a reading slump, and that's just not worth it. I don't want to stop reading because I'm just not enjoying a book. So this for me was a DNF. I tried, but I just could not get into it. Just a quick facts here, some research I got. This was released June 20th, 2017, and the genre is ghost fiction. Which, hey, when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is right up my alley. Um, and if I'm being completely honest with you, the description on the back of the book was more interesting than the actual book. Um, I had read this to you guys when I first got it, um, but it's basically we're following a 12-year-old boy who believes he sees his dad in his house one day. So he becomes so obsessed with and by the way, his dad is deceased. So he's a 12-year-old boy. He believes he sees his dad um, in the kitchen. Going from the kitchen to the utility room is what it says specifically. And he's become so obsessed with this idea of seeing his dad that he starts mapping out things in the house to sort of recreate seeing him. And he starts discovering, and as he's mapping out these specific areas in the house, he starts discovering like past family secrets. um I think the premise of it is pretty good, but I just couldn't get into the author's writing style. Now, if well, he is writing from the character of the mindset of a 12-year-old, and I guess if you look at it from that standpoint, then it's pretty good. But me personally, I just could not get into the writing style at all. Um, wasn't for me. I think I got a few pages in and I absolutely just had to DNF. I just couldn't get past it. There's a lot of hyphens in here. punctuation seems off. Sentences seem like they end abruptly. Um, I'll give you an example here. Okay, it says the following morning dash. This was my usual procedure, comma. After a night of shuffling around to the dead world dash, would find me out in the sun. I I just couldn't get into it. I tried my absolute best. And then here's another one that I thought was odd. You guys can't see this, but it says but. So the paragraph starts off with the word but, then a dash. For all he was wearing, comma, he was absolutely silent. I I just it wasn't for me. I know there's some people out there that really enjoyed this. Maybe I need to step up my reading game. I don't know, but it wasn't for me personally. I give this 1 star out of 5. Absolutely DNF'd it, and to DNF a book this small says a lot. I couldn't even allow myself to finish it just to see what happened. So that was that one. If you guys want to try it out and see if you like it, feel free. The next book, only for the week. Let me find my notes. Y'all know I love my notes. And look, I do plan to show you guys how I know you probably can't see this, but I do plan to show you all how I journal the books I read in like a separate video. I think that'll be kind of fun. Because this has allowed me to journal consistently, whereas before when I tried to journal, it's kind of on and off. But the one thing I've been consistent with is journaling what I read. So I want to do a separate video on that. Okay, so only for the week, I give this a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this one. Quick, fun read. It was published April 9th, 2024, so pretty recent. And genre is romance. I typically don't read a lot of romance, but like I said, I do like to throw these in as a palate cleanser sometimes because I do read a lot of horror and thrillers, and sometimes that become heavy on your mind, especially when there's a lot of triggers in those books. So I kind of like to refresh with these type of fun romance, cutesy type books. But it's by Natasha Bishop, and again, this is my first time reading a book by her. Um, this is about a group of friends in a wedding party decide to take a break away from wedding planning to go to Tulum, Mexico. And you have the sister, which is the bride. I think her name is Amari. She's the bride. And then, of course, you have her groom there. I do not remember his name. I don't even have it written down here. But her wedding party, which consists of her sister, whose name is Janelle. That's easy to remember because that's my sister's name. But you have her sister Janelle, who's her maid of honor, and their relationship is kind of rocky. And I don't want to give away why, because I think if you want to read this, it'll really it'll be too. I think I'll be making too much of a spoiler if I say why the relationship is rocky. But I'll just say their relationship is rocky. It's also kind of rocky between Janelle and her mother as well. So you have the mom and Amari, the bride, and then you have the sister Janelle, and their relationship is just not that good. But anyway, they decide to take a trip to Tulum together. Just the friends and just a small group of the wedding party, just to kind of unwind and relax from the demands of planning a wedding. And of course, there's a bit of drama mixed in there. And there's a little bit of romance. And Janelle, the sister, finds out that she has an interest in one of the guys that's a friend of the groom in the group. And that's why only for the week they decide to have this relationship only for the week, but it expands much further than that. Um, Nice spicy scenes in here, I must say. For those of you who enjoy them, I enjoyed it. If I'm being honest, um, just a nice read about friendship dynamics, family dynamics. Um, I would definitely give it a try. It's pretty short, only 265 pages. I enjoyed Rome and Janelle. They were my two favorite characters in this book, I have to say. Uh, I enjoyed their relationship. I like his attention to detail when it came to her. I like how he listened to her. Um, there was one particular scene when she was talking about how she likes turtles, and he went above and beyond to make sure she had a chance to go swim with the turtles. I just thought that was beautiful. I like those type of things, like those little it's the small things with me. So that I really enjoyed that in this book. So I would, suggest you give it a try. There's one section in my journal that I like. So after I read a book, of course, you can summarize it and you can give like specific details about when you start reading it, page numbers and things like that. And one of the section is your takeaway from the book. Well, I can tell you from this last book, I had zero takeaways. Okay. But for this one, I listed in my journal to follow your heart and don't sacrifice your happiness for someone else's. And I think when you read this, you will absolutely pick up on why I listed those as my takeaways. So I really hope you guys, give them a try. Even the one I rated a 1 star, you never know, you might enjoy it. It doesn't hurt to give it a try. Um, the quote that I want to leave with today is one that resonates with me, and it is, if you look at what you have, you'll always have more. But if you I want to double check and make sure I have it. If you look at what you have, you'll always have more. But if you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. And that's so true. If you think about people who look at what they have and they actually appreciate it and they're grateful for it, whether big or small, they have more. And it doesn't necessarily have to be more like material things. It could be other things like love, peace, and abundance type of thing. But those who constantly look at what they have and they don't see anything, it'll never be enough. And I think that is so true. So I had to share that with you guys tonight. And it's a quote from Oprah, by the way. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this book review, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.